Hey everybody, Game Hounds podcast. We're here. It is just Andrew and me this week. Sorry. If you were a huge fan of Nick, if you're a huge fan of Nick, why are you here? But we are here enjoying the day, I guess. Andrew just got back from work. We're sorry we're late. Andrew had to work late to help out, to essentially pay back a favor.
Yeah, but it's not why we were late. It's because Edie was eating nachos. Like, we've been here at 4:20. Yeah, there it is.
Somebody's got to eat sometime. I just realized I looked up and it was like 2:10 and I had not eaten today. And it's like, and I'm not going to make it till 5. Because, I mean, actually, realistically, we shouldn't make it till 5. So we already had people. God, that was terrible. That's why you don't eat on a show. We already have people in the chat room. Corey, actually, the first person in the chat room was Gamer Terrell, who said first at 1:35 this afternoon Pacific time, which was an hour ago. Well done, sir.
It's commitment.
Yep. So we just talked, so we're all set and ready to go. I guess we could start the regular podcast. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Then we can catch up and I can catch you up with what the fuck is going on out here.
In California, or?
Oh, fuck yeah. It's a shit show, but we will talk about it. So stand by.
Technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
All right. Mics are hot. Hello and welcome to Game Hounds. Game Hounds episode 559. We are recording this on August 23rd, 2020. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Andrew Smith. We do not have a Nick this week. He had to take care of some stuff at his house and it had to be today. So we got no Nick. That's okay. We don't need him. If you're a fan, sorry.
I think he does the most.
Gully, I'm so sorry. Nick's not here.
I think he does most of the heavy lifting for the show, so I don't know what you're talking
about. No. We're fine. We are just fine. So, this week, a week ago, we were talking on the show about how there were lightning storms in California, which is unusual for us. Now we have the upshot of those. There are more than 500 fires burning in California. Within 40 miles of me, 1 million acres have burnt.
Holy
There
crap.
is one fire that is 40 miles almost due east of me right now that has burnt an area larger than the size of Rhode Island.
That's insane.
It is more than 300,000 acres at this point.
Well, I mean, you kind of called that with the lightning storms, right?
Mm-hmm. What?
You kind of called that like last week that you were worried about things catching.
Yep. We all knew it was coming. And today, guess what's been warned, what we have a warning for?
Fire?
More lightning.
Oh.
Yeah, we have another lightning warning. So yeah, we could have a whole bunch more fires. There are so many fires that all started all at once in California there are some fires they're not even fighting because they don't have the resources. And we just expanded all of our resources for firefighting just this last year.
And not only that, but I've read other articles about this that's been popping up. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I've read headlines and like a tweet, but it was put blame on the fact that California uses a really high amount of inmates for their volunteer firefighting. No.
No. Those inmates are freaking awesome.
Yeah, no. Like, they don't have those inmates. because of Corona. A lot of the
possible, but it's not just that. It's not. It would be one thing to say if it was just manpower. It's not just all manpower. We don't have enough planes. We just bought 2 new freaking helicopters and 1 new massive plane that is the biggest plane on Earth, a firefighting plane on Earth. We just bought those, and we are already short of resources. It is. I mean, we're used to having big fires, but they're staggered, not all at once, all starting on exactly the same day. That's the problem, is that, it's like one fire gets taken care of, or it gets, like 30 or 40% contained. You can pull some resources off of that fire and go over to this another fire that just started. No, it was like all of them started on exactly the same day, and everything was fucked. And that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, the air quality here is horrible. Oh my God. It's like, and it's funny. You'll have 1 minute, we'll look at the air monitors and they're like, it's, beautiful. AQI, which is the air quality index, AQI of 30. Fabulous. Go outside, run around. You're fabulous. And then 10 minutes later, it's like air quality index of 300. Go inside, close your windows, stop breathing.
That's the last thing you do. You get inside and then you just stop breathing.
Hold your breath, because it is so toxic. It is actually more toxic to breathe than it is to not breathe at this point. So it's just a real mess. Yeah, there's a link that AC Wraith is linked to about California looking like a nightmare from space now. Yeah. Yeah, there's we have fire spotter cameras. It's, California, freaking, I love it. We have cameras that are all over California that are pointed out into the trees, out into the wildlands of California. And there's a lot of it, because that whole thing about Rhode Island, that one fire fighting as, a bigger, the acreage being bigger than the state of Rhode Island. Yes, it does exemplify how big this fire is, but it also exemplifies how small Rhode Island is compared to California, that we could have one wildfire that's bigger than it.
But it's mostly, I think, empty space, right? Like, it's not developed.
Where these fires are, you have some development, but it's not like urban, like massive cities, but you definitely have towns in these areas. But what was I saying? I forget. Oh, the nightmare from space. What was I about to say? Forgot it. Anyway. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess. And in fact, I have a fire evacuee in my house.
Oh.
So one of the things that I have been up until a couple of months ago is, what a Nielsen family is? That might be kind of an old term for all you young kids.
Yeah, it's a person who basically was like marketing for TVs and stuff.
Right. Yeah. That you were a family that watched TV and you had a monitor on your television, and whatever your family, you were kind of like the litmus test. If you have 500 Nielsen families and all 500 of them watched a particular show, then that's how they would get the TV ratings. Before, back in the analog days, before you could, know how many people were actually watching stuff. That's how you figured out how popular television stuff was how many Nielsen families were watching. And then they would extrapolate global amounts. It was an imprecise way of doing it, but it was the best way to do it.
And now everything just tracks you anyways.
Right. Now it actually individually tracks stuff. Exactly. So I was kind of a Nielsen family for the Department of Justice for the last 3 years for crime rates. A very nice woman named Sylvia. Sylvia would call me every 6 months and find out, had I become a victim of crime in the previous 6 months. And I did that for 3 years. And my stint with them ended. And Sylvia was part of the Census Bureau, and they're the one that collect the statistics and then forward them to the Department of Justice. Well, Sylvia lives up in Guerneville, which is north of me, which is where one of the big fires is. And she's been evacuated a number of times. It's a wild area. But Sylvia I'd always said to her, Sylvia, I see on your, by your caller ID, you're in Guerneville. If you ever need to evacuate, I'm just saying, let me know. If you have nowhere else to go, come to me. Where we are is usually pretty safe. And she's like, oh, I'll never do that. I'm like, well, just keep it on your keep me in your contacts. And Tuesday morning, I get a phone call. Hi, this is Sylvia. Remember when you offered? So I've been evacuated twice in the last 24 hours. I evacuated and then I went to my friend's place and then she was evacuated and I need somewhere that is going to be where it's not going to get evacuated. And I'm like, come on down. So I took in an evacuee into my house, my in-law apartment downstairs. So
that's awesome of you though.
Yeah. But yeah, she and her cat are downstairs, happy as clams, because we are pretty insulated from the fires right now. Oop, we just lost Andrew. Oh, AC Wraith got to be a Nielsen person once. Yes, I was a Nielsen family once. Man, this is going to say something. I was a Nielsen family when I was a pretty young kid for one show, and it was Buck Rogers in the 21st Century. And we had to watch Buck Rogers in the 21st Century, and then they asked us what we thought of it, and we said Tweaky, the robot, the bitty. Okay, Buck. They were trying to make him comic relief. And I said, that robot is so annoying. He says the stupidest things. I noticed within that season, I should say the next season, that robot was completely silent. And I take credit for being the person saying that robot needs to shut the fuck up. And if you look at old original Buck Rogers, like in the early seasons and the later seasons, that Tweaky is different. He's like, once he's like trying to be the comic relief and he's terrible. And then he's not the comic relief and he just kind of says one word and then leaves. That was me. I did you a favor. I got Tweaky to shut up. This girl did right here. So yeah, that's my Nielsen family story.
They kind of had to they had such a small sample size that they had to kind of take any feedback seriously.
Right. Because you didn't have, there was no internet. The way that you found out is you called up an individual house and you spent a half an hour asking about it and then you extrapolated. That's how statistics used to work. That's how media used to work before the internet and before the digital age where you could actually track this stuff.
This is a good example of how much money they make on ads. Because you have to think, they let people get this box. It also gave you free cable typically, and they paid you to go through with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep,
you could do this for thousands of people.
Right. And what you said and what you watched determined what everyone else in the country did. And that's why Nielsen families, if you were a Nielsen family, you kept it secret. You had to keep it secret because if not, you could be paid off by some television. I mean, if the heaven forbid some TV station or some network found out who the Nielsen families were, they could say, here's $10,000. Watch this television show at this time, because their advertising rates for that television show would be determined by the Nielsen families.
Yep. And also, they were pretty specific about who got it, because you had to be like a certain age bracket, a certain demographic. Like, you needed to give up a lot of information, which seems like, I can't think of the word, but like nowhere near what we're giving up now. Before then, though, it seemed like a big deal.
Back in those days, you gave out your social security number. When I was in college, my college ID number was my social security number. That gives you...
Damn.
Yeah. Your social security number was like, sure, why not? This is my social security number. You put it down on stuff. My college ID number was my social security number.
Clearly, I think you should prove it if you still have your college ID and just like show it on camera. Let's see if this is true.
Nope. Hell, I was born at a time that I didn't have to have a social security. I didn't get my social security number until I was 16.
I don't.
I know. Isn't that crazy? my mom's like, I don't want my kids tracked. So she's like, I'm just not going to get them a social security number until they go to work. So when I got my first job, I had to go to the social security office and get my social security number.
I was born with one, I think.
Yes, no. Now they give it to you at birth.
I think I came out and they looked on my skin and oh, there it is. Let's just go ahead and write that down.
Your social security number is given to you at birth.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's not talk about how old Edie is. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you about the fires. If you want to see what's going on with the California fires, I was talking about the fire spotter cameras. There is a website. In fact, I will bring it up for you so that you can see it. It is called alertwildfire.org. And I have to get to the page. Where is it? There we go. Alertwildfire.org. It is has all the fire spotter cameras in remote areas on the west coast of the United States. So you pick a region, like, for example, you pick the North Bay region, which is one of the places where there's a bunch of fires, and you can actually go to live pictures from the fire lines and you can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then when the camera dies, it gives you the last picture before the camera got burnt up.
That's I don't know. I kind of hope they'd be fire resistant, but
not at that time. Nothing is fire resistant at that time for sure.
That's horrifying, though. It's just if you go up, I saw smoke.
You can see how our air quality is. Granted, that's really close to, and then you just scroll over and you can see where that camera is and where that camera is pointing.
If you go back down, I think I saw smoke on one of them, like billowy, thick smoke. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, Mount Jackson. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, it's and that's pointing towards San Jose, Santa Rosa. Oh, that's actually north. That's Santa Rosa. That's the fire that and you could see that first camera that I showed you with all the fire and flames. That was a camera over here. This here that you're looking at is a camera over here.
Yeah.
This down here, that third one with all the flames, that was down here.
Listen, Edie, just suck me out of an underpass any day. I prefer
right
that.
Here. That's me right there. Actually, it's not quite me. I'm right here.
Seriously, suck me out of a basement or an underpass, crush me with a house. That's how I want to go out rather than a fire.
Yeah, no.
Tornado, Midwest life.
Yeah, that's my town. That's just up the hill from me right now. So that's what the air quality is like right now.
This is going to turn into a horror podcast. If halfway through this, you just start seeing red across the horizon.
So yeah, that is alertwildfire.org, and you can monitor what's going on with all of these different fires. At night, it's particularly interesting to watch after the sun goes down because then you can literally see the fires right there. Thank you. Thank you for that leak or that link. Sorry. All right. So should we get into games?
Sure.
Because why not?
I mean,
by the way, we got Corey Wallace in the chat room. Got AC Wraith, our link bitch. Thank you very much, our link bitch. We got Gamer Terral, who was the first person in the chat room, which was hilarious. He was here an hour early. So yeah, also don't forget that we do have a Patreon, and if you are listening now on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications right below. All right, so
what
you got?
I want to say this is just horrible luck for Gamer Temral because he showed up. He's like, I'm gonna show up 30 minutes early. I'm gonna be yeah, first, and it's the one day that we're 20 minutes late.
I know. Isn't that how it always is? Also, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/gamehounds. We only ask for $1 a month if you can afford it. $1 a month is all we ask so that we can keep this video stream on the air. All right. So games, let's talk about them, sir.
All right. So quick, just because I want to rant about it. I mentioned this earlier. Tom Clancy's Breakpoint. Goalie ever watches the show? I know he's been enjoying it. I mentioned that I started playing it a while back with my friend Jay, the game guru. And it is frustrating because they added a hardcore mode, which is meant to kind of take away most of the HUD. It changes how the game works, because normally it's more like Division, where you have a gear score, you gather supplies, and then you upgrade weapons and you make them stronger. Stuff like that, right? And RPG mechanics. Well, hardcore takes away all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, I've turned off like the mini map and the HUD. I've made it essentially as hard as I could possibly make it. Mm-hmm. And I've backed off a bit since then. But I still don't have a mini
lesson.
Yeah, no. I mean, I didn't know how to play the game in the first place, so I still have the mini map off, and that's a big deal because the game's open world, and if you have people in the jungle shooting at you, they're AI. They can spot you. I'm a blind person. Mm-hmm. I can't see shit. So I am getting taken out immediately, like in the woods, if I'm not prepared for a fight.
Right.
On top of which, this game was not meant with the idea of like one-hit kills. Like, you're supposed to have gear score, you're supposed to have those RPG elements, but when you don't have them, certain things are just rough. Because there's an assault class, which is supposed to have an ability that makes you resist damage, and you heal when you do damage. Well, in hardcore mode, you die in like 4 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So no amount of damage resistance is going to help you. So that is completely worthless. And, okay, not completely worthless, but it's not super useful. And they're just there are mechanics in the game that are completely broken by the fact that hardcore mode. And I'm apparently a masochist when it comes to games, because that's what I started with, and that's what we're still playing under. Mm-hmm. And it makes certain other things like just more problematic. Like, this game has really good animations, but the controls are not really polished. So I'm constantly fighting with like cover, rolling, stuff like that. And it makes it super frustrating when it feels like I'm not screwing up, but the game's just rough with those kind of things. And when you're, again, dead in 4 bullets, you can't really screw up, or you're going to drop immediately. And also, it has one of the worst driving mechanics in any game I've ever played.
Really? I did not know. I've not heard anybody complain about it.
I have never seen someone screw up driving mechanics so bad. Like, there is a dead zone when you're driving that if you're trying to turn left or right, like with most driving games, they're pretty good on controller because there's a sensitivity. Like, if you press lightly left, you turn lightly left. And if you press hard, you'll do a hard turn. Whereas like on PC, if you're doing WSD, there is no contextual clues of whether or not how hard you're pressing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this game, I'll press left, and like half a second later, my car will turn left, like hard.
Oh, so there's a heavy duty delay and no, like midway. Yeah. It's all or nothing.
It's just super uncomfortable and rough to drive in this game. Like, you can't just, if you're driving through a forest, you can't like lightly weave and use precision. It's like, I have to make sure I'm ready to make that turn like a second or 2 before I make it. And it's just, I hate driving in this game. It's the worst. And I'm playing with Jay, and he's a big fan of the game. So like the last time we played for like an hour straight, I was so upset. I was so angry, and I was just bitching about this game all the time to him. And I just have to imagine he was getting pissed with me.
Well, I'm sorry that this game sucks. The thing is, it's a fun game to watch someone else play, especially if they know what they're doing.
I enjoy certain aspects of it. Don't get me wrong, but the way I'm playing it, I am hurting myself, and that's on me.
Yeah.
And for instance, do you know what bullet flinch is?
No.
It's when in a game you get shot and it messes up your aim.
Oh, yes. Okay. I didn't know that was a name for it.
Yeah. And in this game, when you take a shot, you kind of, your aim kind of staggers and you stop shooting. So if you run up on somebody and they shoot you, you're kind of like CC'd for a second, and they unload on you. And there's an injury mechanic in this game where if you take a certain amount of damage, one of your health bars will go red and you'll start limping. And if you get critically injured, you'll pull out your pistol and you'll be limping really slowly. I quickly got the perk that got rid of that because you'd get shot once, have to stop shooting, put away your weapon, and then pull out your pistol after getting hit once, and you would die because you can't fight back when you've been shot.
Right.
And it's made a lot easier now that I don't go into that mode. But they don't have that same mechanic. So if they run up on me and I shoot them, they'll shoot me, I'll stagger, and they'll shoot me again, and I'm dead. And you guys are just hearing me rant and bitch about this, and that's all I got for you.
Well, I'm sorry that sucked, but
I still have fun with it, though. So yeah. I'll go back to
it. Any other games that you played?
Yes, and just because I wanted to kind of stay to myself and get through some of the single-player games that I've off-put for like 2 years because I've been more into co-op. I've been playing Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, and I finally gotten the chance to go through and play that. I've played 1 through 3, in the order of 2, 1, and then 3. 2 is by far my favorite, not just because I started with it, but because when I went back and played 1, they had refined certain mechanics to the game that just made it better. And then 2 story overall I thought was better. 3 was okay, but I think it kind of fell flat towards the end. I have been thoroughly enjoying 4. I can't remember. You said you didn't play it, right?
I have yet to play it, and I loved 1 and 2. Was not crazy about 3. 3 just did not
do
it for me.
I think it was a little too samey, and then again, the story fell flat towards the end. You drank spoilers for a 6-year-old game. I'm actually not sure when it came out, but you drank some hallucinogenic water, and then that was the mystic part for the rest of the game. Whereas, in number 2, you went to Shambhala and you had these purple people coming at, or blue people coming at you, and stuff like that. This one did a good job innovating certain mechanics, like what you're seeing right now. He's in a car, and one of the levels is literally you're just driving around a big open map, and you have this winch, and there's certain little puzzles, like he's going to go up this staircase and tie the winch around the tree, and you have to drive up, and that's maybe doesn't seem interesting, but when you're playing, it's pretty cool. And it's pretty unique. My only, again, not even a complaint, but just kind of like a, hey guys, calm down, is they added the mechanics of using a grappling hook, which are super fun, especially in combat. And then they've added them.
They're always fun in every game. I mean,
they really are.
The grappling hook in ESO is fun. Not very useful, but totally fun.
Yeah, and it's just... in this, it's so much fun to being shot, and then you run, jump, and then in the air, grappling hook and swing around as you're getting shot at, and just all action hero-y. It's amazing. I like it, but they use it a lot, and that's not a problem. My only caveat to that is they're using it in the story. You learn how to use it from a flashback from your brother, and you learn that at the beginning of the game. You've known it all your life. And I'm sitting here where has it been in the last 3 games?
Yeah.
You did not think that one through. But overall, it's fun, and that's just a nitpick. The other 2 mechanics that they've added is you typically have a person with you at all times. So you have your brother with you through most of the game. And so now every puzzle or every way you get through a map is you toss someone up and they grab your arm and they pull you up, or some version of that. And all I can think initially was, what if your brother wasn't here? You just have to be well, gotta pack up and go home now because that ledge is 5 feet too high. Gotta go now.
Yeah.
And that's like all throughout the game. And again, I'm super nitpicky, I know. But it's just kind of like, you use that a lot, game. Like, if you didn't have another person here, you would be screwed. And my final nitpick...
I think well, I don't know why you would call nitpick over that. I call that game mechanics. That you have to figure out how to use all of the resources that you have available to you. One of those resources being an AI character that's with you. If you could something that you could do without the AI character being there, then it wouldn't be this game. It wouldn't be a game.
No, I absolutely agree. Again, the nitpicking is coming from like 1 to 3, and like never having that ever be an issue in any of those games that you needed somebody else. And in this game, like, your adventure would be over 1,000 times if you didn't have someone to help you up over a ledge.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, eh. But overall, it's completely fine. I'm enjoying the story and everything. And again, I'm just nitpicking to have something to say and to poke fun at the game.
Right.
And just like the grappling hook's a mechanic and having your AI teammates a mechanic, the last mechanic they've added to kind of make exploring fun is sliding. And like they'll have a ton of like gravel hills, mud, etc. that if you step on it, you'll start sliding down a hill.
Kind of like what we just saw in that last clip with him sliding down the mud hill to get back to his Jeep.
Yeah, and that is in almost every level to like an inordinate degree. And again, it just seems they're like, all right, so we have our basic Uncharted mechanics. Let's add a few more, and then 55% of the game is going to be those 3 new mechanics. And overall, it doesn't detract from the story. The sliding is really fun, and it's kind of like exciting. It's all good, but I'm over here, since this game is damn near perfect, like easy 9.5, 10, I'm just going to point out the flaws because I'm a hipster.
Right.
And I want to have something to say about it. But my favorite parts of the game, I think, was at the beginning. You start off, you kind of have the flashback with your brother, and then you go to like present day, and you're in this diver suit, and you're underwater, and it looks all kind of, you know, treasure huntery, and you're excavating this shipping crate.
Right.
And it turns out a truck crashed off of a bridge and went down there. And you find out quickly after you get out of the water that you're part of this salvaging company who goes through and does this kind of thing. And as the like level in the story progresses, you eventually go back to your home that you bought, and you have like all your mementos up in your attic from all of your adventures. And the chapter is named A Normal Life. And you're kind of seeing him internally struggle with the fact that he is no longer having the adventure in his life that he was having. And he has the wife, he has the house, he has a decent job, but he is an adrenaline junkie at heart, and that is gone. Like, that, he doesn't have that anymore, and he is depressed, but he doesn't want to admit it. So you obviously know where this is going.
Right.
But I really loved that as the start of the character, because it's going to be character development later on. Like, a lot of the character development was him settling down. And when that happens, typically your story's over. And this is a good last one to be like, hey, when you've led that exciting life, this is what it's like when you no longer have that excitement. And it's kind of boring. And what do you do to fix that? And then you play Crash Bandicoot, the PS1 version. Like, in the game. No, like, that's... Your wife sits down, and she's apparently been playing the PS1, and it's Crash Bandicoot. They're like, I bet I could beat you, and if I beat you, you do the dishes. And if not, I do the dishes. And he's clearly never played. And then the game actually loads up Crash Bandicoot, and you play Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, like, no, really?
Yeah, and I failed horribly, but that's not important. And it was amazing. I just loved that storytelling. And just that kind of lull in, like, his life. Then, of course, the story picks up and you get sent on your adventure. But that was easily my favorite part. Like, just because from a story perspective, it wasn't action-y. It wasn't, like, 30 minutes of gunfight. It was actual character development and character
It's like, I mean, dare I say, to bring up the game that I freaking hate, Heavy Rain, in that it creates this setting that makes these characters come alive. And it gives context to everything that happens afterwards.
Yeah.
So that it becomes a fully fleshed out story, as opposed to, hey, it's a video game, run and shoot and figure out this puzzle and run and shoot, and it's over.
And not only that, but it separates it from the other 3 games, which weren't always run and shoot, but that was what he wanted to be doing. He wanted to be searching this.
It was Nathan Drake as a younger man.
Yeah, and this one is him getting forced into it, but you know from the start that this is what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I just think it's super well. Like, if you haven't played it, it's been out for a while, go play it. Like, find it cheap, pick it up. And there's also the Nathan Drake collection, which has 1 through 3. Get that too. It's, if you want single player story, you will enjoy that tremendously, and you can get it on the cheap.
Yep. All right, so only one other game to talk about. Have you played this yet? Fall Guys?
I have not. I've been meaning to, but
Andrew, you and I have to do this today. Have you downloaded it?
I do. I have it downloaded.
Okay, so we will play this together today, as soon as we're done with this. So yeah, Nick and I played Fall Guys. It is, we've talked about it last week. I am terrible at it. Nick is much better. We played it again last night. It's still a really, really good game. In fact, I've been streaming it because, to be honest,
it makes it better.
Yeah, if you really want to see somebody who does play a lot of video games and still just fails on the struggle bus the whole time, then you need to watch me and Nick play on YouTube or on Twitch.
So I've seen some gameplay of this. It looks fun. For sure, I'm going to show you some amazing techniques, but nothing will beat what you did like in the first 10 minutes of your video stream that I watched earlier. I mentioned this, just you had such amazing techniques. You got over obstacles in ways I've seen no one else get over obstacles, and it was just impressive. Round of applause.
Open thinking. In fact, is this me? No, this is Nick. Is it Nick? Yeah, this is Nick. So yes, I have found new and interesting ways to succeed, and yet I pull failure out of success somehow every single time. But yeah, Nick and I play it. Nick loves this. He's much better at it than I am. He plays quite a bit more of it than I do. But it's an overall very fun game, and I'm well, we've talked about it. We've already done our review. Big recommend.
There's an update coming out for this. Just like they're going to take out some maps, adjust certain things. But one of the things on Twitter at the last one was I mentioned how there was an article that says everyone hates Yellow Team. Right?
Yes, everyone hates Yellow Team.
And on the update notes on Twitter, they were like, unnerf Yellow Team's movement. Don't post this.
In fact, I think this is what I'm showing right now is the amazing escape that you had never seen anybody do over the fence.
Yes.
This is it.
You'd actually clicked on the exact moment that you were doing it earlier, but yes. And you started off like first.
Oh yeah, no, I am like, I can seize failure out of the teeth of success better than hardly almost everyone.
And then whack. Like, it didn't even look like you jumped off that first one.
Yeah, I was just a hair's breadth too late.
Oh, fantastic.
And then many times you just get hit by somebody else. There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
And then I saw that and I was like, amazing technique. Amazing.
Right. And then you think I got up on this one? And here is the moment that Edie finds an entirely new way to play the game, caught in this horrible trap. And come on, baby. And here it is. Wait a minute, one more. Next one. And over the fence.
Yes, amazing. That will become Pro League play here soon.
So yeah, Fall Guys. It's a fun, silly, stupid way to end a night or to get stuck for several hours playing it over and over again. You just have to understand that terrible things are going to happen to you. It's just the way it is.
So they are having their first tournament soon.
Yes.
For Fall Guys, and the reward pool is $5,000.
No.
So there's going to be an esports Fall Guys team. Like there's going to be. Actually, I don't think you can. I think it's obviously going to have to be solo. But yes.
We have to get Nick in there. He's pretty good. He needs to up his game just a little bit more to be pro level, but he is much better at it than I am.
I watched him do the hexagon jump thing. Mm-hmm. That last one. That one looks like the fun one to me, and that seems like what this game was designed around. That was the icebreaker concept. But there are things that you can do, like if you're above everyone and you only have a certain amount of tiles before you fall. If you time it, you can jump on it, stand for a second, jump on another one, stand, jump, and that's a way to kind of extend your time while on those.
Right.
And you don't want to just run.
Yeah, I can see that. So, shall we hit the news?
Sure.
All right.
Wow, this is going by.
And we're lollygagging. Let's hit the news. This is the Gamehouse News, the news, news, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Andrew Smith. And our first item is...
I will hit up some sales first, I guess.
Sure,
just
why not?
They're easy. Mm-hmm. If you're looking to pick up some of the newer games coming out, Amazon is having sales on pre-order games. And I don't have all of them, but there was a few that I picked out that I thought were pretty good. For Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you can get Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Cyberpunk, or Watch Dogs Legions for 17% off, just before they even come out. So it's pretty good. So if you tended to get that game, it's a good way to get it for a bit off, a bit cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the Xbox One, Far Cry 6 was also 17% off. And there was a lot of newer games, you can get Resident Evil 3 for 28% off, and just a few other games. But yeah, there's some nice sales going on.
Right. Yeah, and along the same lines, when you mentioned Far Cry 6, there are a ton of pre-order bonuses going on for Far Cry 6. So it's not due out until February 18th? February 18th. Next year, but the pre-order bonuses are starting to become available. I will throw these up on the screen. First off, if you pre-order any edition of Far Cry, you get the Libertad pack, and that has the Discos Locos deadly disc launcher and the Libertad chorizo skin.
That puppy.
It's pretty awesome. So, yes, the standard edition is available right now for $60 at Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart. The gold edition is available with the physical gold Steelbox edition for $110. It's $100 at the digital gold edition is $100 at Best Buy and Ubisoft Store.com. The physical gold Steelbook edition is $110 at Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, and Walmart. The pre-order Far Cry Ultimate Disc, which is $120 to $130. The Steelbook edition is $130 at GameStop. Don't buy anything from GameStop. You'll never get your money because they won't be around in February. IMHO. Digital Ultimate Edition is $120 without the Steelbook. That is at Best Buy and Ubisoft. That has the full game, the Ultimate Pack, and 3 DLCs, etc. The pre-order Far Cry Collector's Edition, which is $200. Remember back in the day when they had collector's editions were $200 and we were like, that's fucking insane. Now people are totally doing it.
No, not even like that. It was insane back then. And then they stopped. And now for whatever reason, Ubisoft's time to bring back those.
Bring it on back. Yep. So the Tostador 72 centimeter replica flamethrower, it does not actually throw flames. The 64-page art book, 10 stickers, exclusive steelbook case, the how to assemble print detailing the flamethrower, the CD soundtrack, chorizo keychain, Oh, you want that weenie dog keychain. And then finally a world map. And that is all for $200. That is at the Ubisoft store only.
Listen, for double this, I can buy a functioning flamethrower from Elon Musk. So,
actually, they're all sold out. I would have totally bought one. All right.
So Far Cry 6. Far Cry in general is a good game series. It's always been fun. I do not know if, who likes Far Cry so much that they would spend $200 on something like. I just don't. It is a good game, but I don't know if it has the fan base like Assassin's Creed did. What about it would make you buy that?
Yeah. Flamethrower, that might be enough. There's also going to be a lot of people who are buying that in anticipation of possibly selling it later on.
Fair. I mean, they did get a fantastic main villain. Everyone knows him, so that might actually drive sales pretty well.
Yep. You put that in your closet for 20, 25 years. Maybe it'll be worth something. Who knows? So yeah, that was the thing. So next item.
Do you want to go or I can go again?
I'll go. And this is sort of I'm not sure how I want to believe it, but there is a rumor about that is more than just people talking out of their asses. It's actually people that are reliable, and are, well known within the community that and it came out on a podcast earlier this week, a video cast on YouTube, that the Xbox Series X may have a price tag of $559, which would be
$99.
$599.
Okay.
Did it just drop out? Oh, crap.
No, I thought I heard you say $59.
No, $599. And where this comes from is, I'm trying to pull it up and I put it in the wrong screen. So there we go. Stand by, getting there. All right. So here's the details. Alana Pierce, who you may know, was on the kind of funny XCast earlier this week. And you might know her because she's a gaming journalist. She's been a YouTuber for years. If you remember, she was also the journalist who when she got rape threats on Facebook from a bunch of people that are, men that she thought was men and found out that they were teenage boys, texted their moms and said, "Hey, did you know your son just said this to me on Facebook?" and posted it to Twitter, which of course got a lot of.
I loved that, and I thought it was an amazing power move.
Yeah. Full on power move.
She got some hate for it, but that is how you do it.
Yeah, so she's worked from Xbox Australia, Zelda Universe, to IGN, Funhouse, Inside Gaming, Rooster Teeth, Zed Games. She's been around, so she's not just a nobody. So during this podcast or this show, they were reviewing all of the leaks about the Xbox controller, the pictures of the stickers. We talked about that all last week. And she kind of dropped this little bomb. She said that, quote, "I have someone who works at a retail store DM me a picture of their work screens where it said that the price, it said November was the release date, and it said the price of the Xbox Series X was $599, and that was in their system." And he sent me a photo of that. The guy obviously asked to stay anonymous, but that happened too. It could also be a placeholder. But that's a weird placeholder to put on there of $599. But that, if were it true, that would be, like $100 more than anybody is speculating at this point.
Well, I mean, that's the high end that the PS3 came out for.
Right.
That's I'm a fan of hardware, and I know the prices because I've been looking into PCs. Honestly, for what you're getting, if we're assuming that the PlayStation is probably going to match that, if it is $600, right. That is, on a hardware level, not a bad price. You're getting a good product for that money.
Still a lot of money, dude.
That's the thing. Like, console gamers are hesitant to put that much into a console. And that seems like it could be reasonable.
That's like somebody saying, hey, the new Aston Martin is $5 million, which if you look at it, that's a really good price for that car. It doesn't change the fact that $5 million for a car is fucking insane.
Yes, I agree. But like this console should last a long time. And personally, I'm of the mind that it is worth $600, but not everyone's going to be as lenient as me, and that is going to be a hard sell.
That it's going to be a hard sell for a couple of reasons. One, it's $100 more than everybody was kind of expecting. Two, they have not mentioned this price yet, and we're heading into September for a November release. Three, it's a large amount anyway under normal circumstances, but four, it is during a pandemic when there is record unemployment. People are making less money than they ever have. The economy is kind of tanking. That's a price that was pre-pandemic price. Even pre-pandemic, it was pricey.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, it's insane.
Not only that, by not releasing this early and getting that backlash out of the way that this is how much it's going to be,
now, if this is true, this is why they haven't heard anything, is their chicken shit. But the problem is that I don't blame them for being scared, but they needed to face that music. If this is true, they needed to face this music like a month ago. So that, like you said, get it out of the way. People that needed to save that extra $100 could save that extra $100. People that couldn't save that extra $100 would, get it out of their system, and then the price just happens. But yeah,
if you release this like a month or two before launch, everyone's gonna know. Like, everyone will know. Not like it'll still be in their head not to buy this. Like.
It will have been if it is this price and they don't say something like within a week of this information coming out, the fact that this price is already kind of known within the industry. If it is this price, they need to say it now, now, because if they don't, this is as bad as the release of the Xbox One.
Yeah, no, I agree. And honestly,
it's a horrible mistake on their part.
We're assuming that PlayStation is the same price just because of the similar technology. But if they can undersell by $100, like if they've learned their lesson from the PS3 and they know no matter what, keep that price down, they will win. For the same reason Xbox won.
And AC Wraith makes a very good point. Another problem about this, for a little bit more, you could get a PC, play the same games in better on a PC.
Again, I've looked into that. Again, I've looked into this. You could not get something of like equal power for $600. You just can't. And the same features that you'd get out of a PlayStation, especially with pandemic prices, because all PC parts are inflated right now. By a lot.
Kaz says exactly. I'm not sure if he is agreeing with you or if he is agreeing with AC Wraith.
The PS5 equivalent for the graphics card in it is $500 right now. Just the graphics card.
Okay.
So,
but you're making a gearhead argument. To someone that knows the difference between the graphics card of the two. But most people won't, and certainly console gamers won't.
Yes, I agree with that.
Console gamers are going to know that this is a box, and I could buy a PC for a couple $100 more and actually have a brand new PC that I could actually work on and do other stuff with. Yeah, Kaz agrees with the PC. So I'm hoping that this was a placeholder. That was a terrible placeholder. They needed to make that placeholder like $5,000 just so that it was very clear this wasn't real.
Yeah.
But to have a $599 placeholder seems a little suspect.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that might give it credence that it is a placeholder is the fact that there was no date with the number, because she just said it was November.
Right.
Like, if it was actually the listing, it would have the exact date.
True. There is that.
Maybe.
But
it seems reasonable.
I hope for Xbox that this is not true. This would be so bad on so many levels if this was the case.
And the silence on it does not help their case.
No. And it's not like this just happened in a little dinky podcast like us. This was Alana fucking Pierce on a fairly popular podcast. I mean, a video cast on YouTube. It's fairly well known. It's not like they don't know that was said. It was reported, is picked up by other sources and reported. It needs to be spoken about.
And Xbox has to know, like, they probably haven't had to deal with this, like, tight-lipped of a price reveal for, like, ever. This is brand new. But also just, you have to know that the closer you get to release date, the more plans you have to make and the more people you have to tell what the actual price is. Even if they sign NDAs and stuff, it's going to leak. And if it leaks before you get ahead of it, it's going to be extra bad for you.
Yes. So we'll see. I hope Alana is wrong on that one. I hope that was just a weird moment.
Yeah, and
in Xbox history that we will forget next year. So, next item. What do you got?
Just gonna talk about WB released like a bunch of game trailers and stuff. I think they had their own event. I'm not really sure exactly, but
they had something. I forgot, some kind of con.
One of the games that they mentioned was Gotham Knights. It's a new Batman game, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm going to gush a bit. Instead of Batman being front and center, which for a Batman game that's typical, especially with like the Arkham Knight games that they came out with, or Arkham Asylums, you'd expect Batman to be in there. But for Arkham Knights, Batman is going to be presumed dead. Bruce Wayne is going to have died in an explosion, and you are going to take the shoes of Batwoman or Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood, which are all the various Robins or Batman sidekicks, and they're going to be front and center for this game. Not only that, but it's going to be entirely co-op for 2 people, which sounds amazing.
Yes, that does sound very cool.
And looking through the gameplay, I noticed that it looked almost RPG-like. Like, the fighting mechanics are a little bit more flashy than even the Arkham games, but there was, like, health bars, and there was damage numbers, and all of that noise, so it looks more like an RPG. And they even said that the higher level you are when you go into a boss fight, the boss is going to scale and not only have more HP or do more damage, but they'll have more moves and abilities. So that seems like a cool dynamic, and I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It also looks gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous. I mean, they have the world's longest lead into that thing of like slow motion text on the screen. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. And I love the fact that the 4 characters, what is it? The 4 characters are going to be, what are they again? Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood.
Yes.
Yep.
Robin being is probably going to be Damian, Batman's son. Nightwing is Dick Grayson. This is just me nerding out, which is Batman's first Robin. Batgirl is
a hacker.
Yeah, it's Jim Gordon's daughter, actually.
Right.
You haven't been able to play her because in the Arkham like Asylum games series, it was post like Joker paralyzing her.
Right.
So this is going to be pretty amazing. And Red Hood is Batman's second Robin who ended up getting killed and brought back to life. And he's going to have guns, and the fact that they're all working together is amazing.
Yeah, Batgirl is going to be a hacker who uses a tonfa and martial arts. Nightwing is an acrobatic fighter who uses eskrima sticks. Red Hood is a vigilante who uses a combination of traditional and high-tech weapons, including firearms. Robin is a prodigy with a background in psychological warfare who uses a quarterstaff and stealth techniques.
Yes, it looks amazing. I am so excited.
It all depends on the gameplay. Oh, we forgot to mention in the gameplay that one of the things I have played is I got farther into the Avengers. Man, I do not like it. The more I play it, the more I don't like it. I find the movements to be so, like, just the way it feels. It does not feel good.
Okay, that's fair.
For me.
No, I mean, I played it too over the weekend. Like, I got the chance to actually get through like most of the levels that are available, and I'm not sure where I land on it. Like, it was fun, but it feels like that fun's gonna run out like really quickly.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels. You nailed it on the head. It feels like, once, Hulk smash, that's kind of fun. And then always, and it's like, and it's like, I get to change, like, I get to rank, get some more equipment that I don't actually see, but I have to take on faith it's there. It's anemic.
Yeah. I feel like they would need a much larger cast coming off of like the launch to really be fun and like kind of hold your interest if you're going to play for a long time. But there's 6 characters, and I kind of reached the level cap of one of them after playing for like 4 hours with 2 people. For one of the characters.
See, I've yet to do any multiplayer. I've gotten to the point now where I can start my first mission as multiplayer, but nobody was on. So I've been kind of, and it says something that I have been going back to it reluctantly out of due diligence. If you can't make me interested in your game, in your beta, I'm like, the beta's only open for the weekend. I have to get into that and it's like, it's only open for the weekend. I got to do this. It's like homework. A game should not be homework.
Yeah. And I want to clear something up about Batman real quick. Apparently, according to AC, it's Tim Drake, which I completely forgot about, which is one of the newer Robins. Mm-hmm. That's just my bad. It's not Damian Wayne, which would be Batman's son. That's sad, but just want to clear that up. And yeah, anyways, back to Avengers. I'm not sure. I really don't know. Like, I want to get it because it was fun. Again, I'm just worried at $60, I'm going to play it for like 15 hours and just be like over it completely.
Right. So, all right. Well, we ran that one out. So, yeah, Batman's trailer, the Gotham Knights looks very interesting. It will be very cool to have, because are these 2 games, when is Batman Arkham Knight set to come out yet?
2021.
And when is Avengers supposed to come out?
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Avengers comes out September 4th.
I don't think this bodes well for Avengers. Like, anybody that's into the superhero type games will probably play Avengers, and depending how good Arkham Knights is, Gotham Knights is, it may just eat their lunch.
Well, they'll have plenty of time. Like, again, that's 2021 with no like month, so that could be middle of the year, could be the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
So Avengers isn't competing with them, but I'm just not sure if, again, Avengers is going to do well.
Look who's here. Hi, Nick. Is your headset working?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. Hey, pussycats. So you got your stuff all done? Everything taken care of?
Yeah, for this week.
Yeah.
Then next week.
Next week you're moving.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be on the next show, huh?
No, I might. Like, I have everything planned. I want to start moving stuff on Friday.
Okay.
Saturday, everything is planned. Comcast is planned to start up all the internet. So Sunday, I should be able to do the podcast and then finish moving things.
Everything goes off wuthout a hitch. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So
which it will, because I'm a good plan. Oh, hang on. I've got to go open the parking gate. I just got a text.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's hit the next item then. My next item is let's see what else. If you care, some people do, some people don't. If you place Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's a Porygon 2 that is available for free today. It is part of a Pokemon World Cup, Pokemon Players Cup Finals. It kicked off yesterday. It's going through the rest of today, and the company is going to shares passwords that can be redeemed within Sword and Shield for the Porygon 2. Once the password has been revealed, you'll need to fire up a copy of your Sword and Shield and then go to the menu and select Mystery Gift. Select Get a Mystery Gift. Select Get Gift with Passcode. Connect online and put the passcode in when prompted, and you will get a Porygon 2. I don't play.
I hear it's good, but I don't have a Switch. And a Switch is expensive.
And a Switch is very expensive. Especially with all of the third-party people are coming in and buying it and selling it to you for $700 because they can't get them on the shelves. Yeah, fuck those guys.
I called around like pawn shops thinking, hey, someone's probably going to get rid of them. And every time I called, they're like, no, we don't have a Switch. Like someone, like they've been asked relentlessly for that product.
Yep. So yeah, there's all the details for it if you need it. And speaking of Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, we were talking about this earlier, that Fall Guys is going to a couple things. One, they are getting a season 2. They don't really have battle passes, so they do have a rotation of costumes and they call them seasons. And Mediatonic, who's the developer, is already gearing up to reveal what's part of the season 2 next week. This was teased by Jeff Keighley, taking place at the Gamescom opening night. Their season 2 content for Fall Guys has a brand new trailer, and we don't know what that's season 2 is going to entail. I'm going to assume it also has more courses or different courses as well, because that's the thing, is that with the courses that you have in Fall Guys, when you learn them all, you kind of learn their, you learn hacks, you learn ways to get around stuff. And if you know how to get around stuff, then it becomes, a little bit harder for people to join the first time, because you're up against everybody who knows that you want to go left here, you want to go right here,
I watched a streamer play it, and I watched them destroy one of the obstacle courses because they knew all the little tricks to shortcut.
Right.
And they pulled ahead by a mile from everyone else.
Right. And they don't want to do that. So I'm assuming this season 2 is going to have different courses. So to even the playing field again. And also they're going to have new costumes. They've already, announced and teased the, My Friend Pedro and Portal costumes. And also, that's all going to come to PS4 and all the other things. So that's happening.
Their costumes are going to become the Funko Pops of. Oh
yes.
Did they say when season 2 starts?
They're going to reveal when it is. All the details next week.
Okay.
I saw a good argument for this, that the maps look like they have a set of assets that they use and repeat, and it would be really easy to give those tools to players and have a bunch of player-made maps. And if you just gave that out and then you let, if the developers made a content creator playlist, you could have a lot more maps and a lot more fun, and I think that'd be pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know if they'll do that, but that'd be awesome. I know they plan to swap out maps and do rotations, though.
So yeah, they've got this trailer coming, and obviously they showed different courses.
That looks awesome.
Yeah. So, oh god. So yeah, and I love this idea that they will just keep launching out new courses, so that it does make it easy. If you haven't started, when that's god, oh, this looks brutal. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get another one that doesn't have a bunch of bullshit. That the courses look if you could start Fall Guys at any time, just to wait for the new fall season and everything restarts, and there is no advantage that anybody has to anything.
And pick it up for free, like now, while you got the chance.
Pick up Fall Guys now. Pick up Fall Guys now. It is free for the rest of the month. Get it now.
On PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, on PlayStation Plus it's free. But also along those same lines, more news about it. Fall Guys for PS4 has got a new patch. It's going to be fixing some of the biggest issues they have right now. And it was going to make the game fairer and far less frustrating. So it's planned for this week. And some of the issues it's going to address is, first off, the round selection algorithm has been altered to now only pick team-based games with the team size that can be equal. And that was the problem with the yellow team, was that if the amount of teams were not equal, the yellow team would get the most amount of players. Like if, say, there was 2 teams and it was an odd number, the extra person would go to the yellow team.
Really? Because I remember seeing it became a meme that yellow team always loses.
Yeah. Or maybe it's yellow. No, sorry. Yellow team is, take it back. Yellow team is at the opposite. Yellow team is the last one to pick.
That would actually make sense.
3 teams, and you can only have, like, if there's an uneven number and one team is going to be short, it's going to be the yellow team, which is why the yellow team always loses. So it's not they've changed the algorithm so that they will only pick team-based courses when the team sizes all can be equal playing that course.
Also, they also were saying that they have lowered the choosing selections, that if you get a team-based game, you will not get another one directly after that.
Oh, okay, good. Excellent.
So you don't have multiple team games in a row. You don't have to worry about that.
All right. They've also going to have a bunch of crashing issues addressed, and the jump shutdown was one of the biggest targets for the patch. Is going to be one of the biggest targets for the patch. That's an exploit that allows people to jump ahead on PlayStation 4. Yes, that is a thing. And there's also going to be some camera issues fixed.
Explain what it was, like how it worked?
No, they did not.
They don't want to do that because the moment they explain it, everyone uses it.
Going to do it until the patch comes out. Also, the slime climb will no longer let players grab certain obstacles. At some point, I guess you could grab obstacles and hold on, and that's not going to happen anymore. In addition, it's going to allow inverted controller users to finally play the game with an XY axis setting, as well as some sensitivity bugs. And it's also the UI is going to run more smoothly on older PS4 systems, which is my issue. The UI system does not play nice sometimes.
I think it's going to be a problem for me as well then. I have the launch one.
Yeah, I have a launch one as well. So yeah, you're probably going to have that issue. And then also the jump buttons binding will be able to be changed. So Japanese players can better match what they're used to in most other games, because the standard for the X button in the United States is actually the square button. That's the Japanese standard. So you can actually map that out now to change it to a Japanese style controller scheme. So yeah, that's happening.
Oh, okay, I see. The jump glitch was they recently added in a new final round called Jump Showdown, which is the round where you're on a circular platform and bars are going around, and they go faster and faster. But also the floor starts to fall away until there's like one piece of floor left, and the two different bars are rotating at different speeds around, and the last person who stays on wins. I guess people have found a way to grab onto the last piece of land so that every time the bar came by, it might hit them, but it wouldn't actually knock them off. It would just go over them. And so they could just hold on to the land and not actually have to do any of the jumping challenge.
Got it.
And so it looks like they just removed that whole level from the rotation.
Oh, that actually sounded really fun, though.
It is fun. I played a couple times. And I think that if they fix that glitch, just make the ground unable to be grabbed, they'll bring it back. But it seemed like this was just the easiest way for the immediate future.
So yeah, that happened. So I've got only one other thing to talk about, and it's a big one.
I have something else to talk about before that, because I'm sure it's the Apple stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, so apparently there's been a bit of outrage from streamers on Twitch because there was an ad campaign run by an ad agency called Ogilvy, Ogilvy, and apparently
Ogilvy sounds like.
They've done stuff for Dove and IBM before, and they're essentially a third-party ad organization. Yeah. And they were running a campaign.
Mad Men.
Yeah, and they were running a campaign for Burger King. And what they would do is they'd find popular streamers with the text-to-speech option turned on for donations. And they would post like a $5 donation, and in that $5 donation would be an ad for Burger King. It'd be like, hey, this is what you could get for $5. You can get a burger, some fries, a drink for just this $5 I've given to this Twitch streamer. And they were doing that all over the place. Now, the biggest issue with this, and it comes down to one of the streamers who was like, so are you going to sponsor me? Like, that's the issue for streamers. Like, a lot of their revenue comes from ads, whether they're baked into their actual show or if they're coming from Twitch ads themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You essentially have this third-party organization worming their way around it. And most of them see it as a really shitty, scummy thing to do.
Right.
And the ad company even put out a video that was like, hey, we're doing this. Look how awesome that we're doing this thing, which was basically screwing over YouTubers or Twitch streamers for ads.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's against the terms of service for them to be doing this, but I'm guessing a lot of people want it to be against the terms of service. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, okay, what's the big deal? But I kind of agree with that these are entertainers. This is their brand. This is how they get their money. And they shouldn't, like, free advertisement shouldn't be a thing for in the system that it's meant to support them. Like with the tips and the donations, like that shouldn't be for conglomerates to use for ads.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of people are rightfully pissed.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with it.
Yep. Well, I mean, bully for Burger King being able to figure out how to, or the ad company figuring out how to exploit the donation system to turn it into ads for Burger King.
That's really not what the donation system is.
That's not what the donation system is for, but they, don't hate the player, hate the game.
True. But you can still be kind of scummy.
Yeah, because I get now it's like,
it's totally scummy.
Do we remove that feature? This is why we can't have nice things.
Right, right.
And I don't, like, because even if you, like, hey, this is against the terms of service, like, all you need is a new account, $5, and you can do it again.
Right.
Like, you'll get banned from Twitch, but how many times can you do that if you're a bot before you get banned?
Right.
And you don't want, even though you're getting $5 as a streamer, and most of them on their Twitch streams were just like, thanks for donating, Burger King, because that's the classy thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how you stop this, and you don't want this to become a trend.
No.
Yeah, because if it does, then that potentially turns any chat worthless. Any text-to-speech chat.
Yep.
Worthless.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it's used to troll in general, which is hilarious. Like, if someone just puts, like, ee for, like, an hour. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of shitty.
And they're just going to have to get rid of that feature. Because it's too easy to exploit. I mean, obviously, now it's like the jump exploit. Everybody knows it now. You've got to patch it out.
I think the only way to stop it is to like sue companies that do that. Like this ad agency, if they do this and you find out that they're doing it, you bring hard litigation against them.
Yeah, and Twitch is going to update.
Update the terms of service to say like the chat function cannot be used for outside promotion.
Right, and that's obviously not in there right now. And if it is, then yeah, they violated the terms of service. But then how do you take action against Burger King when they're not a streamer? It's not the streamer's fault. They can just go back in and create another account.
Well, you wouldn't take. Yeah, that's why you would sue the ad company. You wouldn't sue Burger King even. You would sue the ad company.
And you don't just ban the person who did it. Like not in the terms of service. Like if you're an ad agency and you're going out of your way to do this and make bots and keep doing it, like you are open to litigation.
Right.
That has to be like the option. I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just if they try to be secret about it, I'm sure it won't last terribly long.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think they'd get a lot of benefit out of trying to like do this on the down low.
Right.
Either.
All right, so let's hit our last item, which is it's the big one. The Epic and Apple kerfluffle, which is funny. I used to get in trouble with with Goalie about the name for kerfluffle. I have seen kerfluffle being used like 5 or 6 different times. It's like the new hot word. So I'm taking it back. Kerfluffle between Epic and Apple is getting even worse. All right. So as you recall, on August 13th, Epic filed a lawsuit against Apple Epic tried to add microtransactions into Fortnite on their iOS in such a way that it bypassed Apple's own proprietary payment system, which is a violation of the conditions of being on the App Store. You have to use Apple's system for payment because Apple gets a 30% cut of that money. So they put it in there. Then Apple booted Fortnite off of the App Store. Then Epic issued that Fortnite 84, which was essentially a takeoff of the commercial, the very famous commercial that introduced Apple to the world, saying that Apple was being overpowering, over-domineering. We need to free the apps. Well, Apple's no fool. Yeah, go ahead.
Just want to, just so it's not later, I have totally been misunderstanding what the 1984 thing was about. I did not realize it was Apple's launch as much as the Orwell Big Brother 84.
Yes, it is one of the most famous commercials of all time. Is the original Apple 1984. In fact, if you look up best commercials of all time, it's the, dare I say, the Thriller album. I'm totally dating myself. It is considered to be the greatest ad of all time. Period. The end.
No, it can't be that. It's a stupid ad. It's stupid then, it's stupid now because it's so fucking over the top, and it's just that it's the Apple's fighting back against totalitarianism and fascism.
The tyranny of Microsoft. The tyranny of Microsoft was very much a thing back then.
It's the kind of thing that's like, really?
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now.
Any ad that takes itself that seriously cannot be called the best ad of all time.
I am looking it up. Best TV commercial of all time. And there it is right there. 10 greatest TV commercials of all time. First thing on the top of Google.
Yeah. By who? By who?
Yeah.
Remember the news story the other day about the writer who was looking up ingredients for red dye and he used the top Google search results? Click through that fucking link.
Okay, that is qualitygoods.com. All right. Right? Now, then 50 best commercials of all time, EW.com. Oh, let's see. Energizer Bunny, Fast Paced World, Gorilla. It's got to be on here. It's got to be in the top 10.
Also, for a moment, just to humor me, scroll to the top and see when this actually came out. When was this article written?
This one was written in 1997, right here.
Because I was just looking through all those commercials and thinking, I don't know any of these commercials.
Considerable.com, written in 2020. Most memorable commercials of all time. Alka-Seltzer, Plop Plop, Fizz Fizz, Spicy Meatball. That's a spicy meatball.
Is this sponsored by Alka-Seltzer? Okay, Crying Indian, I know. Crying Indian,
Good Choo Choo Charlie, Life Cereal, Mikey
likes it. I know
Ring
that.
Around the Collar, Catalina Mermaid, Star Kiss Tuna, Maytag Man, Bounty Paper Towels, Charmin, Mr. Whipple, Mr. Clean.
I know Mr. Clean.
Right. Josephine the Plumber, Palmolive. You're choking in it. Dunkin' Donuts, time to make the donuts. Chock full of nuts. Folgers, Mrs. Olsen. Well, these are also.
I know Tony the Tiger.
Jolly Green Giant.
I know him. Oh, know him.
Yep. Great American Soups from Heinz. Wow, I don't remember that one. Jack in the Box, Rodney Allen Rippey. Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Yeah, Taco Bell Chihuahua. Okay.
Yep. The Frito Bandito. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Coca-Cola commercial.
I've at least heard of that commercial.
Mean Joe Green commercial. Oh, also another classic.
Oh, the Hey Catch Kid. I know that one. I've seen parodies of that.
I'm a pepper. He's a pepper. She's a pepper. We're a pepper. You're a pepper. Oh, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? Shake and Bake. I helped. Westonality with Florence Henderson. Chiffon Margarine. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Blue Bonnet Margarine. Everything's better. Everything's better with Blue Bonnet on it.
So clearly, not everyone agrees with the.
Well, these are like jingly kind of things. Oh, there we go. There's one in your time.
Snickers with Betty White.
Betty White and Abe Vigoda.
Like, I have not seen it, but I've not seen the 1984 commercial, and I'll look it up afterwards.
The 1984 commercial is definitely one of the most.
It's one of the most well known.
Yes, by far, 15 most iconic.
If I'll be technical and semantic, it's definitely one of the most well known.
I'm almost like 90% sure though that I'm gonna like any Old Spice with Terry Crews commercial in it more than I will like this 1984.
Yeah, all right. So
and can I say that's what I found so bizarre about that. The fact that Fortnite did that is because they're parroting something that's so old, their direct audience is not going to get it.
Yeah, their direct audience isn't going to get it. But Apple got it.
More than that.
Absolutely got it.
I wonder if the direct audience will even get the 1984 reference.
No, they probably won't. But that wasn't the point. They wanted to stick it to Apple, and they wanted Apple to know that they were like, fuck you, we can do what we want. Well,
it's just a weird choice.
Here's the problem when you're a little too smarty pants for your own good. Apple responded to that lawsuit when, Epic filed for an injunction to get it back onto the store, right? And Apple responded saying that clearly by the fact that they had created this, well, a couple things. One, Epic had approached Apple a long time previous to August 13th.
June.
And said, huh? Yeah, back in June. And had asked Apple, said, hey, We want to get rid of your third-party payment system, okay? Just for us, because we're Epic.
Actually, in the email, they do point out that towards the end, they're like, we'd like you to do this for everyone too, which is probably just them covering their ass. But, like, reading the email, it is the most, like, blatant, hey, can you just do this thing that you've never allowed anyone else to do and you've been blatantly against? We're just asking. Like, straight up, no, like...
Right. We just want you, we just don't, hey, can we do this? And Apple going, no, we haven't done this for Amazon. Why would you think we would do this for you? And then Epic going back, knowing that they were told no, the fact that they created this ad ahead of time and dropped it the minute that their stuff was banned, Apple specifically called it a deliberate choice that Epic made to cheat Apple. That they knew what they were doing was wrong. They did it intentionally, and this is a self-inflicted wound. And you cannot give them an injunction simply because they knew that they were doing was wrong. It shouldn't have come as a surprise. And not only that, we talked to them about this back in June and said no, and they did it anyway. You cannot give them an injunction because it wasn't a surprise. They knew it was going to happen.
I feel like no rational person thought that Epic was taken by surprise by this.
Right.
No rational person looked at this and they knew that Epic was ready for this. So why this doesn't really change anything?
Yes, it does, but that would change the injunction. The nature of the injunction, an emergency injunction, is like, oh, wait. Let's not do this and let's figure it out in the courts before we make this decision.
But specifically,
wait. They actually, it was, you can't walk in front of a car and then claim that, like, you know, like it was all the car's fault. We had no idea what was about to happen.
I need
an emergency injunction.
What's the injunction about specifically?
The injunction about it specifically is an injunction would be, whoa, something's happened. It would be devastating. We had no idea this was going to happen. It would be devastating for us if you actually let this stand. So let's go back to where we were, freeze it where we are, and then let's make a decision because this would be so horrible to us.
So I thought the injunction...
say, oh my God, this is such a surprise. Let's have an injunction until we figure it all out.
But I thought the injunction was about Apple banning Epic's developer credentials for the Unity engine, not an injunction about them banning Fortnite, which are two different things.
That's a different thing. That's a different injunction they're also asking for.
Okay, so they're asking for two injunctions for both issues, because the Unreal thing is absolutely valid.
Okay. Now that's the next thing. We haven't talked about this yet. That is the next step in the saga. Is the first step was Epic. Let me get this out here. It was Epic versus Apple. The next step is Apple versus Epic. Today, this morning, Sunday morning.
Oh, Unreal, not Unity. My bad.
Yeah, Unity. Apple is threatening the entire ecosystem of all developers that use Unity because of this lawsuit. Apple has threatened to remove the iOS credentials for the Unity engine, which
Unreal.
Sorry, damn it.
Yeah, I did the same.
Unreal Engine. All right.
Okay, so
and that's a second injunction where Epic was like, whoa. That is what an injunction is for. It's like, holy shit, we didn't expect this. Whoa. If you do this, this is going to have long-term horrible complications. We need an injunction on this now. That's the difference between an emergency injunction the way it's supposed to happen and an emergency injunction the way it's not supposed to happen.
Okay, so I think there was a plan here. They wanted to start this case against Apple,
right,
and then still sell on Apple, essentially. Still get back on Fortnite. So the plan was to basically bait and switch. You put that up, they get taken down, and they're like, we're going to be hurt too much for this. Like, let us go back and put that up while we're still litigating. And that That's double dipping, and I think Apple has the right to be like, no, they knew this was going to happen. So I still think their initial argument of Apple being a gated community and just having a large share of the cell phone industry that they could be considered monopolizing or getting close to it, that what they're doing shouldn't be allowed. That's something for lawyers to decide, but I still think that's, if you're going to try that argument,
arguments on both sides. You can choose. You can choose not to buy an iPhone,
and that's for lawyers to decide. I still think that's a valid fight if you want to take it. But I think the idea of trying to get back onto Apple while that's going on as hey, this will hurt us far too much financially is bullshit, and you're trying to double dip.
Mm-hmm. So the Unreal Engine is very much a thing because it would not just hurt Epic. It hurts every developer that uses Unreal Engine on iOS, which means it would devastate the country, which is a brilliant move. And to be honest, if they didn't see it coming, they should have known that this would come, that they would ban the credentials on iOS because you poke with the tiger. Do not get pissed off if it tries to kill you.
But it's not trying to kill you. It's trying to kill the animals around you. Apple is essentially going fuck you, tiger. I'm going to kill that monkey.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to kill that monkey. And guess what? All the monkeys are now going to be pissed at you that you poked the tiger.
No, they're not. They're going to be pissed at Apple.
No, on the business side of things, it is going to lose faith in developers for the Unreal Engine. They've trusted their livelihood with this software, and the people running it just declared war on the people that they're selling to.
Right. Exactly. It could go either way. I mean, I guess some developers be like, yeah, fuck Apple. The other one's going to be like, well, Epic went and started a pissing match with Apple that we had nothing to do with. And now our
entire premise just prove Apple's monopolistic power?
Kind of. You could make an argument for that.
Doesn't that exact premise then just prove Epic's point?
It could go either way. That is
a lawyer fight.
That is a lawyer fight. But in the meantime, if the injunction is not granted, all of these, the Apple's going to turn off all the lights on all of these games.
And that's a consumer confidence hit to Epic, and that is a huge deal. That'll sink your stock.
Put it this way: if I was making a game right now and I was choosing my engine, I don't know that I would pick Unreal at this point because Epic obviously is a little bit of a loose cannon. Do I trust that Epic is going to be making decisions that won't fuck me later? No, at this point, they don't. Unreal works perfectly fine on off. I do that. Nobody is going is going to be pissing off Apple over at any other platform. Not like this.
I mean, there might be gamers themselves might be pissed off at Apple, but Apple could easily launch a campaign to basically shift that blame to Epic. Mm-hmm. They have the money to burn Epic down with advertisements of hey, the reason you lost all those favorite games you were playing was because they did this. And
you know who's sitting on the side cackling like crazy is Unity. They're sitting on the side going, eating the popcorn, just watching, going, all right, hey, by the way, hey, it's we're going to give a discount to anybody who's lost their who wants to move off of Unreal.
I thought AC Wraith in chat has a good point that Unreal offers better licensing plans than Unity. So more likely is developers will just skip Apple ports.
Which is a possibility.
In which case, it's honestly Apple hurting itself. Right. But at this point, it's related to games, and I feel like they don't care enough about that entire industry to bother.
Not even that they don't care enough about this industry. That industry does not make up any remotely close, remotely large enough amount of money to affect Apple.
I don't know about
that. Huge.
have you seen how much money Clash of Clans brings in a week, right?
You know that Apple is a $1 trillion company, right?
Yeah, but part of that is because they're getting a 30% cut of that a month that Clash of Clans brings in, right?
Possibly.
All of those super top selling games,
Apple knows exactly how much money is coming from where. Trust me. If they were afraid of losing this money, they wouldn't be making that decision.
And overall,
it's just unfortunate that it seems with all that money, they can't really create anything good with it because Apple Arcade is kind of meh. Apple TV sucks balls. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do?
TV. Kevin loves the Apple TV.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I don't use it. He likes it.
There's nothing like the whole service is like, yeah, none of these shows are good, really.
He likes it. I wouldn't tell you.
I've only heard
tell you why. I don't know.
I've only heard frustrating things about it.
So yeah, but that's the big thing.
Big picture, I think they have picked an interesting fight. Like, no matter what happens, this will set a precedent either way, and they have a decent fight on their hands. Like, Apple has a lot of money, and depending on where you think that's going to land, in the end, this is billionaires throwing money at each other, so don't get too invested. But
it is. But I also feel like it's a bit disingenuous to say that because big picture, if you look at what each side is saying, Apple is arguing for more monopolistic power. Epic is arguing for something somewhat not that. So even if it is billionaires fighting each other, it's not that
it's gonna
classic Alien vs Predator, whoever wins we lose type of joke. There is a situation where I will benefit from Epic winning. I won't really benefit from Apple winning.
I just wish I could give Epic like the hero role in this fight, but the fact is Epic's doing it solely for selfish
but like
and
I said,
personal intentions. But it does affect everyone.
But like I said, their end goal is better for me and the average person than Apple's end goal. Like, it doesn't matter who we choose to fight for us. Like, the end goal is better for me.
Yeah.
What do you keep switching to? What the fuck is that?
It's the Michael Jackson eating popcorn gift, or this case a video. Yeah.
It's just okay. It's a GIF. I thought it was like
no, it's not a GIF. It's actually it is.
I thought it was Thriller.
It's the actual opening of Thriller.
Okay. Yeah. But it's a meme of him eating popcorn. Or you watching two people going at it, like just enjoying the show. But no, you're right. Like, there is some benefit to everyone if Epic wins, but like, I don't give Epic props for this because they're not fighting for the common person or anything like that. They just want more money. They really just want more money. And they also want to
look.
In their email,
they're not the hero we need. They're the hero we deserve.
That's a little upsetting at how true that is. It's 2020. Epic's our hero.
Well, shit, is it the other way around? They're not the hero we deserve, but they're the hero we need.
By the way,
that's the way it went. That's the way it went.
Yeah. Do you know who directed?
No, we deserve someone better. We deserve someone better.
I'm not so sure about that anymore. Billionaires. I'm not sure we deserve better at that point. Yeah. At this point. Oh, I have seen this. Okay.
This is the the original 1984 commercial. And by the way, Nick, can you do me a favor? Look up 1984 commercial director.
It's dumb. It is dumb.
Look up director. You have to remember, this is 1984. That at that time, that commercial was one of the best things that we'd ever seen. And number two is look up who the director was of that.
Look. Times change.
At a time that we were getting like Fruit Loops commercials and Tony the Target. That was the commercial that changed commercials forever. Commercials changed after that. But look up who the director was.
Yeah, it's Ridley Scott.
Scott. Ridley Scott directed that commercial. That was like
I think the best commercial of all time can't be locked into the time it was released. It has to be something that can be universally liked no matter when you see it.
Well, everything is a function of its time and place.
Yeah. And looking back, you look at that and think, wow, that is so self-serious and dumb.
A little pretentious.
Yeah, absolutely pretentious.
And it aired during the Super Bowl, and everybody stopped and was like, what the fuck is this? We'd never seen anything like that before. But also, that's like looking at the Gutenberg press and going, yeah, but it's kind of shitty. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really work very well. It's super fucking slow.
I feel like it's like you only get to do one page. I mean, you really press under the bus by comparing it to an Apple commercial.
That commercial changed all commercials from that point on. Never were commercials different. I mean, never were commercials the same after that commercial. And it's the same thing. You can't look at the Gutenberg press and go, yeah, but it's so fucking slow and it doesn't really do a very good job. You can only do one page at a time. Shit. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe at the time it was super inventive, but really you can't really look at something as in a time and place.
I feel like that's a straw man argument. That's a disingenuous comparison.
It is a very, very extreme of what you just said.
No,
I taking it to an absurdist extreme.
I don't think those are comparisons.
I think that might be a fangirl argument.
Yeah, we need, if we want to make an ad of this, like Oogie Boogie's Blookie, it will fucking be all over that. I would love to have a 1984 ad, especially directed by Ridley Scott for Oogie Boogie's Blookie.
No. See, what we're going to do, we're not going to make a 1984 ad. We're going to make something super fucking pretentious by today's standards so that in 30 years, someone's going to look at our commercial on a podcast
and go, change the way everything was made.
We're gonna be what they were then today.
Oh man, it's gonna be
years from now. They're gonna be talking about the Gray Block commercial.
Greatest commercial of all time, 1984 Gray Block. 1 and 2 in all lists.
It ended the coronavirus. It got the economy back.
It did.
Track.
It put out the fires in California.
No more protests or anything like that. It fixed everything.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I can't laugh very hard because
I'm already picturing it in my mind.
Oh no.
Just take the Traveler from Destiny, make it a Gray Block, and just have really dramatic pictures of the protests and riot, and then all of a sudden bold cube Gray Block in the sky, and everyone just looks up in awe. Fires across California, Gray Block, and the fires just out. Someone in the hospital coughing, Gray Block, and all of a sudden they can breathe.
Actually, I see it more of there is this savior with a hood, right? And that there's headlines about coronavirus, and the figure, the hooded figure goes like that, and then you see headlines of coronavirus solved, vaccine miraculously created spontaneously in lab. Then you see the fires, and you see that hand go like that. This hooded figure like that. And then you see all the fires go out. And then at the end, you see the hooded figure slowly pull back. And it's just a Gray Block. And then you have the rolling screen. In 1984, everything is going to change the world.
2020 was
2020. 2020 was saved.
I like that. I want my Gray Block to be more like the monolith from 2001. Okay. I want it to be our new God and Savior, Right. I want people to worship the Gray Block.
The head comes back. The Gray Block is there. His head goes back. Camera pulls out. He goes like this, and then you just pulls out farther and farther, and you just see person after person, row after row, getting down on their knees and bowing.
What's fantastic about this idea?
Ouch.
is like, not only is this commercial entirely pretentious, but it's for a game that like has nothing.
Oh, yeah, we can't even make.
That's like someone has made it. It's out there. It exists in a form.
Ryan Stevenson gets it. When you saw 1984 commercial, it changed your fucking mind. It changed your world. It really did change everything. So we've never seen a commercial like that before. Everything had always been jingles, like the 1950s style jingle commercials. And then there was this like cinematic thing that we'd never seen before.
Maybe it's a generational thing because that was a year before I was born.
Corey Wallace says, no, we ain't going to have Ridley Scott. We will have Uwe Boll.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. See, Ryan Stevenson and I are of an age that we remember what commercials were before 1984. And it was all like jingles and, like, buy this. And then that thing happened.
I'm almost certain that if you go, like, there's going to be a group of kids that are going to go back and watch the original 1984 commercial and be like, man, why are these guys copying Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie. When I was in college, I actually heard a bunch of girls walking by in college, that one of them, and it was something that just made me stop because my brain locked up. These girls walked by and said, wow, did you know that Paul McCartney was in a band before Wings? And it was like, really? Yeah, that's kind of like the same thing. Like, oh my God, did you know that like there's like Apple is totally copying
Fortnite?
God, get it in a rhythm idea, fuckers.
Fortnite is so much larger than Apple.
Did you know that Titanic was based on a real thing?
Oh my God, no way. Becky. You know what? Valley Girl went out of style 30 years ago, but the voice is still there.
And it never left your heart.
God. No, totally done. No. I was like, oh my God, you did that so well. It's like, yeah, because I've had like 30 years of practice.
I feel like I just came on and derailed everything by talking about commercials.
You did. You threw a freaking M80 into this one.
No, this is typical Game Hounds podcast. We were doing something new without you, Nick. And
Game
you brought us back.
Right, you were staying on track, and I was just like, I can't have this. Throw that wrench.
Yeah, no, in fact, if you ever want to know what Game Hounds is like, this is what Game Hounds is like, and then we try to hold it together for like an hour to do something newsy, and then it comes back to normal. Thank you. Where's the beef? Clara something. Oh, that was another one of those commercials that changed it didn't change everything, but it was very famous. All right. Do you have any other news? Mick, did you bring any news? Do you want to talk about anything?
No, I didn't. No. Did I say, I beat Blasphemous? I played Super Hot, Mind Control Delete. That game's so good. Like, because of it's a run-based nature, and you keep unlocking, like, different powers as you go through, and some of the combinations of powers you get are so awesome. I love whenever I get the ability to start with the katana and then deflect bullets by cutting them. I can just go through a level like the Matrix, just cutting bullets and reflecting them back at people. It's like, it's exactly the kind of action movie that you want to see, but I'm only able to do it because everything moves in slow motion. It's really
so you're
cool.
sitting there with a giant grin on your face as you're going through it?
Oh, yeah. I'm just standing still, watching the bullets slowly come toward me, going, okay. And they're within range. Slice. Okay, I'm going to turn over here. Wait. Slice. And just knowing that, those bullets are going to go and kill someone. And then when I watch it on replay, it just looks cool. It's just cool.
So, since we're at the end of the show, Andrew has not played Fall Guys.
Oh, really? At all?
Mm-mm.
I've seen it played a few times, but yes, I have not played
it. I won another game, so I'm 1 win away from getting the Portal skins that I want.
Oh, good. But you heard, and I will pull up the comment so that you could see it, that there is now going to be, let's see, where is it?
And you may have suggested doing it tonight, but I actually have guests coming over directly after this podcast.
Oh, no. Okay.
And, like,
all right. Where is it? There is, what was that thing about the $5,000?
Oh, there was a tournament. There's going to be the first Fall Guys tournament. And the prize pool is going to be $5,000.
That's pretty cool.
You should do it.
How do I enter?
I have no idea.
I'm looking forward. Here we go. There it is. Fall Mania, a series of fall game events starting next Thursday, August 27th, with a $5,000 winner takes all prize pool each event.
Oh, so you can there's more than just one $5,000 pot.
Yep. There you go. Go nuts, Nick. It's on Twitter.
The next 4 days is Nick just like montaging.
It looks like you have to look up Twitter under Grand Pooh Bear.
Oh yeah. Oh, Fall Mania. Oh, Twitch URL. I don't have a Twitch URL. Twitter name. I don't have a Twitter name. Oh shit. Do I need these things?
Well, we'll need to fix it, but use the Game Hounds for both.
Nick.
Are you open to playing Thursdays at 7 Eastern? Yes, I can do that.
Yes, use the Game Hounds. Perfect advertisement.
If you want to sign up as the Game Hounds, I will be all over that, and we will watch. We will have a viewing party. All right. So, all right. Anything else before we close out the show, guys? Nothing? Oh, okay. All right. Then let's close this out. You've been listening to Game Hounds, episode 559. We recorded this on Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. Thank you. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola and Andrew Smith. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live in 4 different places now. First off, we do it every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. That is our audio. If you would like to listen to us, just the audio. If you want to actually watch us, we are on 3 different locations there. Facebook under The Game Hounds, YouTube under Game Hounds Vids, that's VIDS as in videos, and Twitter. We are on as The Game Hounds. If you listen to us on Twitter or on Facebook or on YouTube, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. We would love to have you back every single week. If you want to get we've already done if you get a hold of us. If you listen to us on iTunes, we are on iTunes, we are on iHeartRadio after the fact. You can actually listen to us streaming on Spreaker itself. But if you listen to us on iTunes or iHeartRadio, please, please, please leave us feedback. It helps other people find us. Finally, do not forget, we have a Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/gamehounds. Please, $1 a month is all we ask. That helps support our video feed because it's expensive to do this. We would love to be able to do more of this kind of stuff. So please check it out. Patreon.com/gamehounds. $1 a month is all we ask. If you can do more, great. If you can't do any, that's fine. No obligation. We just would really love to have this to offset the costs and keep ourselves going for another 12 years. Heading towards 13 years. So everybody, thank you so much. Nick, thank you so much. Andrew, thanks, Andrew, for holding down the show in Nick's absence. Nick, thank you for coming back, even if it was for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Have a great week. Take care. Please wear your mask, wash your hands, and if you're near the fires, please stay inside, stay indoors, keep your lungs healthy. What's out there is terrible stuff to be breathing. And please, if you live in California, don't set a fire. We don't need any more. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye. All right, we are out of the audio stream. The video stream is still going. Let's see. Oh, that's an old comment.
In the chat, AC Ray pointed out that I have the Thursday Nick Twitter account.
Yes, you do. You do have the Thursday Nick account. Ryan says, thanks for the show. Happy to do it, dude. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, you have to go back to the beginning. It's a show. You do have the Thursday Nick. In fact, I don't even know if I know the Thursday Nick sign in. I will have to figure that out.
Figure that out because I'm putting that as the Twitter handle. Or should I just do Gamehounds?
Oh, you should do Gamehounds.
Is it just Gamehounds?
Yeah, at Gamehounds is our Twitter handle.
Isn't the Twitter still broken?
No, Twitter's never been broken. I mean, it's still there.
No, AC has been saying that the Twitter account's been broken and hasn't posted anything since like April.
No, the Twitter account is broken from updating from the Spreaker chat. That is not Twitter's problem. I've signed on to the Gamehound, the Twitter. I mean, I'll go on to it right now. Let's see. May as well.
I should put the Gamehound email.
Yes, you should. There's the Twitter, the Gamehouse Twitter right there, dude. It works.
Yeah,
Hi,
I checked. At Gamehounds.
That's you. So there.
I was expecting a hello world.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all still there. We are still, in fact, let me see what our profile has. See, look, there we go. Nick play Fall Guys. It's up there. All of that's there. Yeah, we've been on there. The last thing that we had the podcast show up was in April, but that means I'm struggling with the Spreaker interface for that. I have renewed that lease a number of times, but it's not coming up. But yeah, that
okay. We'll see what happens. I added to that sign-in sheet.
Okay, good. Yeah, we get lots.
This is legit the one possible esports competition I could win. I could actually do good in because I've.
Well, that means you're going to have to start practicing, my friend. You need to start working out. Make the
Rocky soundtrack. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. You're going to need to work out. Montage, guy. Totally montage workout to get yourself into shape for this.
It's just going to be a series of pictures of me on the couch playing a game.
Yes. All right, so
the clothes aren't even going to change.
Yeah.
Just the snacks around me.
True. All right. I guess it's time to go. I've got nothing else. My tank is empty, and I've got already people starting to text me to do stuff. Andre Labar just texted me that says, you just spammed a random person with that tweet. Yeah. So making new friends. That's how we do it.
Just hi.
Hi. Okay. Gentlemen, Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much again for joining us. Ryan Stevenson, Twitter. Yeah, see, Ryan Stevenson, that's Twitter works. Thank you so much for everybody. AC Wraith, again, thank you for being badass. Steve M. Hawk Ortegon, our social media manager. You're awesome. Everybody, have a great week. And please be safe if you live in California. And if you happen to be in one of these zones that are being evacuated, please, when they tell you to evacuate. If you live in California, even if you're not in an evacuation zone, please go get yourself a go bag together right now. The governor has asked everybody in California, all 20 bajillion of us, to have a go bag ready. So get a bag for every person in your house with a spare change of clothes, a copy of your ID, anything that you might need, a charged cell phone juice box, cell phone charger cables. Just put them all in a backpack and leave them by your door so that if you get a call that you need to evacuate, you can literally grab it, get in your car, and go. Because time is of the essence. The sooner that you're on the road, the safer you will be. And the sooner that you will get out of your neighborhood, because everybody else is going to be looking for shit, you'll be already on the road and out. You want to be in the front of that pack, not at the back. And when they tell you to get out, please get out. Don't stick around. You're not going to be able to save your house. If you haven't done the stuff to make yourself safe from wildfire at this point, the fire starts, it is too late. There's no amount of cutting of fire lines that you should be doing now. Once that evacuation is called, get the fuck out, because you are actually delaying firefighters from being able to fight fires. They show up to fight a fire in your neighborhood, and then it turns into a fucking rescue operation, which takes people, time, and materials away from actually fighting the fire and burns down other people's houses. So just get out. Be ready to get out no matter where you are, even if you're in the middle of a city. Be ready to get out if you need to right now, because it's crazy and there's not enough people to go around, and there's not going to be enough places for you to go. So get out while you can. Nick, you too. Get a go bag together. Even though you're moving, have a backpack with that shit together. A pair of socks, extra pair of pants, couple pairs of underwear in case you need to be evacuated to a shelter ASAP. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just like, yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'm moving. So
you're
like,
already packed.
I'll
right. This will just be a backpack that's already a different kind of backpack that you're just ready to pack. So yeah, have that stuff so that you don't need to be like, oh, I forgot to get my I need my chargers. I need my juice box. I need my wallet. Where are these? Just have it all in your bag. So that you can just literally like, hey, knock, need to evacuate. Okay, grab the bag and leave.
Just hop in the U-Haul that all your stuff's packed in and drive away.
Well,
I was really prepared.
I'm moving to a same place, apartment in the same complex.
Oh, you are?
Oh, okay. So no truck, just a lot of walking back and forth.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. See you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.